Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you once again. Oh man, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining us one more time on the episode of The Artist, where we interview I'm talking about amazing talent. And behind the talent is a testimony behind their work. So I'm like, if you're interested, I'm telling you, if you're interested, if you got amazing talent, I don't care what it is, please give the Artist Show a call. We would love to interview you and hear the stories behind why you do what you do. And we got a great guest lined up. And I'm like, but before we get to that, I just want to give a shout out to one of the legends that just passed, Congressman John Lewis. Man, a civil rights icon who been through the struggle, and the struggle still goes on. There's nothing really changed from Selma, Alabama up to now. You may have a little bit more freedom, just a small portion of equality, but racial injustice, inequality is still rampant today. As a matter of fact, it seems like it's getting worse. So I want to just give a shout out to his working with Martin Luther King, being involved in nonviolence. And I'm like, we give God praise for John Lewis' family and all the work that they put out. We thank you for your loyalty and your steadfastness into this struggle. And you know, we got a lot of praying to do. For you songwriters out there, for you videographers, this is probably a good time to be able to write words that may inspire people through this struggling time. So I want to let you know, your artistry, your creative talent is important right now. So ask God to give you the words and give you the creative ability to do something that is going to be magnificent, is going to inspire others. So now, back to the show, yo. We got this young lady from South Florida. Hey, I'm like, she's from Fort Lauderdale, and she's a South Florida Gospel Award nominee. And I'm like, she got music, man, that will inspire you to just be at peace, have joy, and to bring a closer relationship to Jesus Christ. So yeah, we getting ready to hang out with Miss Ramona Gregory in the house. So don't go nowhere, yo. Don't go nowhere, I'm telling you. It's going down, baby. It's going down. Yeah, right here on The Artist.
Good day around the world to everyone. Develop clouds might be coming in your area, but I guarantee don't let that get you down, because the sun is rising. Today is gonna be a great day. Have to work. It's gonna be a great day. Have to work. Get yourself.
Well, I am sorry to have to report to you that I've got to find me another church, because I got kicked out of my church today. Yes, me, Prophetess Ramona, got kicked out of the church. Well, according to the pastor, I am not participating in the services, and I am being disobedient to his instructions. Well, that is his side of the story. Let me tell you my side of the story. Well, see, what had happened was the pastor was preaching and he was doing real good. And all of a sudden, in the middle of his sermon, I guess the Spirit hit him and he said, "Turn around and hug your neighbor." And I didn't hug my neighbor, and he was looking right at me. Well, let me explain to you the reason why. Well, see, I know that most of the people in the church that I go to, they go to the club on Saturday nights. They get drunk and they're dancing all night. So they go home drunk and musty. And then they oversleep. And They get up to go to church and just put their clothes on and come to church that way. So I know that they are drunk and musty, so I ain't hugging nobody in that church. So after that, the pastor, he started on the second part of his sermon, and he was doing really good. And then all of a sudden, he said, turn to your neighbor and give them a high five. Well, I didn't do that either. But I'm gonna tell you why, because I don't want you to think that I'm a bad member. Well, now the lady who was my neighbor, she had went to the bathroom. And she stayed in there a long time. Now, I ain't accusing nobody of nothing, because I wasn't there. But what if she had to, let me put it gently, move her bowels and did not wash her hands? I don't know now. Like I said, I'm not accusing nobody of anything. Well, what if? I just could not take it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back on the Artist Show with the artist and talented Ramona Gregory. How are you doing?
I am terrific. I am staying safe and healthy. All is
I know that's right. I mean, I know you had that mask on even when you was moving, right? I'm like, hot outside, boy. Like, I can't breathe, but I got to keep it on.
Absolutely.
So you are originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yes, I am. Born and raised into my early teenage years. I was born at Broward General Hospital,
Okay.
now known as Broward Health. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So that was a Fort Lauderdale was almost the capital of South Florida spring break.
Yes. As
Ain't
soon as
nobody-
it's clear, we'll reclaim that title again.
Daytona, but I think y'all done beat Daytona out.
Yes. We hold the title.
Yeah. So you got military background.
Yes, I am proud to say that I served in the United States Army for 9 years.
Wow. Wow. Come tell me a little bit about that. Come on now.
Well, people ask me because I'm, truly 100% girly, how
Okay, yeah.
did I go to the military? I said, well, if you grew up in my home and you had to live with my mom, you would try to get away as far as you can.
Need to make a decision or something. It was either college or the military. And I ain't got no money for college. And they didn't either.
Yes. So it was great. I served 9 years. I had opportunity to go to Europe. I've been to Indiana. I've been to Virginia. I've been to Oklahoma and, various different places, but it was great. And I would do it all over again. As a matter of fact, when we started deploying troops, due to COVID-19, I was just waiting by the phone, hoping they would call me up so I can get in uniform and, help out my country. It's
right.
Yes.
So you still active just in case they need to call you?
Well, the way the military works, if you're active or not, if they need you, answer the call.
Okay, because you got the training.
I have served all of my reserve time.
Nice. That's what's up. And it's recommended for all teenagers because you went in like 17 or 18 or something like that. So it's kind of recommended for all young people, especially, to take that journey to know about the world and know about different things. It even comes with college education and all of that. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely. I was even able to obtain my bachelor's degree in counseling through the military.
There you go.
And certifications as well in cosmetology. So a lot of people don't know when they think of the military, they just think, we were sitting around waiting for a war so we can fight.
Right.
That's secondary actually to our thoughts, but we do what we have to. But actually the military is very, very big on education. We're probably one of the largest educated communities. Wow.
Especially dealing with technology, mathematics, and all of this stuff here, man. Codings. Yeah, I already know. It's a preparedness for whatever's about to come.
Absolutely.
parents.
And another part of the military too is that, you know, they understand that you may not spend 20 years retiring. So what the military wants to do is to prepare you for the civilian life.
Yeah.
So, you know, being educated and being able to get back in society, you know, we still serve, we just don't do it in a uniform. So
Exactly, and pay it forward to other veterans and even the civilians as well.
yes.
So what led you, I mean, being in the military, what led you into singing? I mean, I'm like.
Well, I grew up as a little Baptist girl. And, you know,
Now, I want to know if your Baptist was the same as my Baptist, because I'm from Ohio, and they ain't believe in drums, they ain't believe in all these other instruments. They just had this one upright piano with the big mirror and saying who coming in from the back.
yes, same Baptist. Yes, as a matter of fact, believe it or not, the first, I guess you could say, you know, contemporary song that I ever heard was of the Clark sisters, our little Baptist church. We had a little program where some girls came in. It was a group of them, and they were singing, you know, "Is My Living in Vain?" And I was,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
are we supposed to be doing this?
Right. Are we supposed to be singing that?
Yes. But I ushered as a little girl, and as I got around middle school, I always had an interest in music.
Right.
My household, we always played music, and I would always, you know, be interested in music and learn songs. So I sort of just naturally gravitated toward the choir.
So, I mean, I'm like, was anybody in your family an inspiration to you or whatever? Did any of them sing? Papa sung bass, Mama sung tenor?
Mama sung in the shower, Daddy didn't sing at all. So actually, you know, and most times when we see families, whether, you know, the preachers, singers, you know, whatever their profession is, even in the world, you know, normally you can trace the lineage. And I just believe that for me, it was just something, you know, where God just anointed me, you know, and called me from my womb and, you know, from my mother's womb, and this is what he called me to do.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that, because you can't find nobody. You know that was a divine appointment right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So let me make one correction. Now on my father's side of the family, there are some ministers and some that are musically inclined, but it's not something where it's, you know, family wide.
Right. Yeah, I know it came from somebody. I'm listening to your songs, and I'm listening to the album Superstar. I'm like, you got to have something from somebody, but we know, you know, God got everything to do with it. So when we get back, we're going to talk about that album, man, because I'm like, I did go through the songs, and I'm like, wow. So I can't wait. I'm excited. So we're going to talk about that a little bit and talk about where you're going. And hey, we'll be back after these messages.
All right, I'll be right here.
You're watching DWGN TV, the Donna Walton Gospel Network. You're watching DWGN TV, the Donna Walton Gospel Network.
for material things. Some strive for knowledge or embrace philosophy. They become great thinkers, and maybe that's what you want to be. Well, there ain't nothing wrong with it. They're probably great. But there's only one person I need to imitate. His name is Jesus, the bright and the morning.
All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, talking to Miss Ramona Gregory in the house. And I'm like, so I checked out your album, your music, and I gotta say, you know, the thing that I enjoy the most listening to it is that you're so happy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I'm feeling down, I can't say it down alone.
Yes.
So I'm like, it's very uplifting, and you know, it's very infectious. You know what I'm saying? It's, like I said, if anybody is depressed or whatever like that, it's going to affect somebody. And I really thank you for being obedient to the Holy Spirit. Now, you write all your lyrics?
Yes, sir. Every song that I've ever recorded, I wrote it with the help of the Holy Ghost. Now, let me tell you something very interesting. I have never sat down to write a song. And what I think about that, it's not like, oh, well, it's Saturday morning. You know, let me take a couple of hours and sit down and write a song. The songs are divinely downloaded. I could be driving a car, song come to me. I pull off the side of the road, write the song.
Midnight hour.
In my sleep, it comes. So that's the interesting part of it. But yes, the Spirit has just given me, you know, of course, we're going to go back and we're going to add, you know, that human touch.
Some flavor,
Artistry, but
exactly.
The foundation of the songs, have been downloaded by the Holy Spirit. So yes, I've written all of it.
Now let me ask you this: in your writing and in your, you know, composing and, you know, singing a melody or whatever, where do you want God to? What level do you want to be as far as the writing, worship, and, you know, what level do you want to be as far as, you know, it might be out of the box, but go and tell me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I know you out there. You know what I'm saying? But what level do you want God to position you in as far as, you know, the continuation of your music?
Okay, great question. What I want God to do is whatever His will is, and this is what I understand by the word. As you look at the story of Moses, when Moses got ready to set forth the leaders of the military, he gave some 100, he gave some 500, he gave some 1,000, and, you know, some had larger responsibilities. So what I understand, even in the midst of, you know, being nominated for awards and being invited on, you know, certain platforms, that there's a will that God has given us, and there's a certain amount of people that He's given us to. And so my will is hopefully lined up with God's will, whereas He will allow me to reach those whose ear He has tuned into my voice. So wherever that is, however that is, that's what I want to do, because that's truly success.
What do you want the level of the elevation of your worship to do for you?
Okay. All right. For me, I like to be able to enjoy and be touched by the spirit of the songs that I write. Because I have to live with those songs. I have to minister those songs to others. So if it doesn't touch me, number one, I won't even record it, because, you know, thoughts come through a multitude of business, and we just can't, you know, pen everything and sing everything that comes to our mind. So I know that is, you know, of the Lord. I would love to be full-time, just, you know, singing in the ministry. So that would be great too. And like I say, the platforms, as they get larger and larger and God open up doors for bigger audiences, you know, I would definitely love that.
Definitely. When we get back, we're going to talk about anything that's upcoming, because I know you got some concert stuff online that you're going to, you know, because I might want to sing with you, you know. But we'll be back after these messages right here on The Artist.
True and Destiny with North Carolina Jazz Girl, where you will be enlightened by her words of wisdom and her musical ability. Join Lydia SALETT Dudley every Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and again Sunday evenings at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on the DWGN TV network. Log on to www.dwgntv.info to watch, and we'll see you there.
From the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with Ramona Gregory, an artist here in Fort Lauderdale, and she is the nominee of the South Florida Gospel Music Award. So you gotta sing a little something. You gotta sing something. Give me 30 seconds of something.
Well, I will go with I Come to Worship You.
Come on with it. Come on with it. I like my jam right there.
The Holy Spirit, I feel you in this place.
Yeah.
I receive your mercy, and I receive your grace. Your presence is all around me. I feel your warm embrace. I humbly bow before you as I seek your face. I come to worship you.
Go ahead on now. That's Ramona right there, boy. Look at. So what you working on now? I mean, I know you're working on a lot of things, but what you working on now?
Yes, I say that during this COVID-19, if there's anything that's been done is creativity. We've had to tap into it, and we have to find different ways to do things. So we shall not be defeated. We shall be victorious through this. So when I was standing in my office and they gave the announcement that we would be going home, this is what I said to the Lord. I said, God, I said, you know, what started out as 2 weeks. I said, Lord, if you give me this time off, I'm going to dedicate doing ministry for you in the best way that I can. So first of all, I have completed a comedy video called Kicked Out of the Church.
Oh, yeah.
I have also narrated 2 prayers, one being the Lord's Prayer and the other is Psalms 23. I actually did a COVID prayer for everyone, and then of course the music collaboration with I Come to Worship You. So what I'm preparing to do now, of course, I've already mentioned, is the virtual concert, and also Kicked Out of the Church 2 is coming up. And excitingly, I am preparing to go back into the studio to work on my 2nd album.
What?
Yes. And one of the songs that may be the title is a song that actually was supposed to be on my first release. And I wasn't pleased with the way that it came out. And, you know, I like to do everything excellent for the Lord.
Right.
And we're going to bring it. And sometimes, you know, it's God's timing because there are certain messages that God wants for certain times.
Yeah, well, I already know you got a word in music for these times right now. You got racial inequality, you got the COVID-19. Now you're not only just dealing with the after effects of especially COVID-19 because people are not going to work. So now you're dealing with domestic violence, you get child abuse, you know what I'm saying? But before the COVID-19, people can escape, you know, car running. You know what I'm saying? I'll stay at work for a little while, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't got to deal with the situation. But now, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like, I got to be with you all day, you know what I'm saying? And then even some Christians are, you know, who've been claiming or saying that they've been Christians. Now this test of faith.
Yes.
This test of faith ain't no joke, boy. Now you say you're a Christian, now you got to have some faith. Now you got to show something.
Absolutely.
Do you trust God or not?
Absolutely. We were having a conversation, and I said to them, I'm not going to die of the COVID-19.
Neither am I.
They looked at me with, you know, stretched out eyes.
Yeah.
And said, well, you don't know that. How can you say that? I said, well,
I know.
I can say that is God has given me a list of things that I must do before I leave the earth.
Exactly.
I said, And unless I get them all done, you know, during this pandemic, I have to still be alive to finish
Exactly,
them.
exactly, yeah, exactly.
So, I have a promise from God that I'm gonna outlive this, absolutely.
That's an awesome word. I like that, because I said the same thing about before the COVID-19. I said, Lord, look, I know you still got some stuff for me to do, and I know that I got to be alive to do it. So I'm like, in the process, going to get me ready personally with this relationship I got with you, you know what I'm saying, so I can be able to go and knock this thing on out and make it effective, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm like, so I want to open up for you in the concert, you know what I'm saying. I'm going to see you my little demo, you know what I'm saying.
Yes, you will need to audition.
So check this out. Where can they get your music at and, you know, all that good stuff?
Yes, I'm on all of your major media platforms, iTunes, CD Baby,
iHeart,
Radio, Pandora,
Spotify.
yeah, all of those. So just download something and support me. I really would appreciate it.
Well, I really thank you for coming on the show and just hanging out with me on the Artist Show. I'm like, we are truly blessed that to have you, you know what I'm saying? And we know that you are a true child of the living God, because we hear it all up in your music, man. We hear it all in your music. If there's anything that I can help to help push that vision and that ministry that you have that God has provided for you, I'm like, I'm your brother. Call your big brother now.
Absolutely.
Better call your big brother now.
Yes, will do.
God bless you. God bless you in a mighty strong way. And, you know, hey, it's on and popping. I'm like, this ain't the only time, because I'm like, when that new album pop out, please let us know. We're going to have you back on to talk about it.
Thank you.
God bless you, sister.